Moving on to other news now, and another 8 cases of Marburg virus have been confirmed by the World Health Organization in Equatorial Guinea. That brings the total number of cases in the country to 9 since an outbreak was first declared in February. At least 5 people have also died of the disease in Tanzania. The cases were confirmed in new regions of the country, indicating a wider outbreak. There are no vaccines or antiviral treatments approved to treat the severe viral fever, and that's fueling fears it could spread further in the region, with alarms sounding in Cameroon and Kenya. The Marburg virus disease, or MVD, is a rare hemorrhagic fever. It affects both people and non-human primates. It's in the same virus family as Ebola. Marburg has an average fatality rate of 50%, which varies in different strains. In the worst outbreak in Angola in 2005, the fatality rate was 88%. It killed more than 300 people. Well, let's get more on this now. We're joined by Dr. Matshidiso Moeti, the World Health Organization's Regional Director for Africa. She's joining us from Brazzaville, Congo. Dr. Moeti, thank you very much for your time. The areas that are reporting cases in Equatorial Guinea are about 150 kilometres apart. Does that mean that there are a lot more cases than what's been confirmed?
Yes, first, thank you very much for having invited me to join you and share information about this Marburg disease virus. Yes, indeed. From the area concerned, we are concerned it's suggestive of the fact that there could be more cases. It's spread over quite a wide geographic area. And as you know, there have been 9 cases that have been laboratory confirmed and 20 probable cases. So the investigation is still going on. The testing and confirmation are still going on of these cases.
So the number of cases so far are low, but we know that it has a very high fatality rate. What does Equatorial Guinea and Tanzania need to do to scale up the efforts to stop the chain of transmission here?
Yes. First and foremost, we need to intensify the epidemiological surveillance, so quickly confirming contacts of cases themselves. And the most important thing to do, of course, is to stop the transmission of the virus. The virus is transmitted in body fluids, so blood, sweat, saliva, other body fluids. So what is very important is, first of all, for healthcare workers, who are some of the first contacts, and we have had a couple of healthcare workers die in Equatorial Guinea, to make sure that they are aware of all the precautions, even as they do their clinical care of people and investigations of the disease. They have the knowledge that they need, and they have the equipments that they need, so personal protection equipment, gloves, masks, and so forth, to stop them being infected. And then, very importantly, at the same time as we are understanding further, confirming the cases, isolating the cases to make sure that we minimize contact with other people. People in the community, in the families, have to be aware of the risk of the presence of this virus in their midst, and of the precautions that they have to take in order to minimize being infected. One of the key ways of transmitting these viruses is, of course, when somebody dies, as happened both in Tanzania and in Equatorial Guinea, and then the types of processes that are gone through to mourn somebody, to the burials. So if burials happen at the community, it's very dangerous, and that's often also a way for the virus to spread. We need to have safe burials carried out. We have partners, including non-organizations, who take action to be connected to communities. First of all, to persuade them. We need to convince people, this way of saying goodbye to your loved one is not going to be the normal way. Accept this because of the risk, and find ways to help them to do it safely. And very importantly, really,
it sounds like some of the challenges are those that we faced when there was an outbreak of Ebola. Equatorial Guinea is not far from the countries that were affected by Ebola. Has Ebola equipped countries around there to deal with such viruses? And again, this virus is from the same family as Ebola.
Yes. I think the Ebola outbreaks, both the ones in West Africa, in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, and most recently in Uganda, have equipped both the countries affected and the neighboring countries, because we always institute a preparedness process, investment by the governments, by the people in being prepared for these outbreaks. That in a way helps us to understand that even if we take the outbreak in Tanzania, it's in an area which borders quite closely to Uganda, to Rwanda, and to Burundi. But those countries were already, to some degree, prepared to deal with the outbreak in Uganda. That does help. We have to progressively build up these systems so that we're not starting from scratch each time. And one of the most important aspects of this is really the population's understanding, communities' understanding, and the role that they can play. Because at the end of the day, our health systems don't penetrate the communities to the degree that we can do without their own triggers of suspicion and recall of this is what we were told we needed to be careful about. That needs to be reinforced, of course. We need community health contact with the population so people are reminded and enabled to minimize the transmission.
Dr. Matshidiso Moeti, the World Health Organization's Regional Director for Africa, we thank you very much for your time on this.
Thank you.